Hi Scott, welcome to the IPMS in Telford again for the 2011 show. Last time we saw you on video, there's been a large earthquake. We saw what happened at your offices. How have you been progressing, and how are you and your staff in general now?
Oh, we're all fine. I'm happy to report. The warehouse, as you may have seen from some of the videos and photos that we put up, probably 30 to 40% of our stock was all thrown onto the floor. Fortunately, no shelves came down completely, but we did suffer maybe 2 or 3 pallets worth of merchandise that could no longer be sold as new because of damaged packaging or just outright damage. But fortunately, our staff was all fine, no injuries or anything like that, and happily none of them had damage to their homes or any loss to loved ones or anything. So we came out pretty clean. The earthquake also happened on a Friday, so that gave us the weekend to clean up, so that was kind of convenient. And we were actually ready back to go the following Monday morning, but unfortunately the earthquake had shut down major expressways and everything, so Japan's logistics, transportation routes, things like that were shut down, and it was hard to get packages moving at normal speed. But Japan's pretty good at getting that back up fairly quickly. So.
Well, we're glad to see you here as well. Obviously, from the footage as well, we saw your office, and we saw that your filing cabinet had fallen down onto your chair. So I think you were very lucky to escape injury yourself.
I have my Bandai Saturn V to thank for that, because I never thought the earthquake was going to be that big, because usually when an earthquake happens, it starts out at close to its maximum violence and then kind of tapers off. And in the case of this earthquake, it didn't work out that way. It started very slight and then gradually just kept building. So when it started shaking, which happens a lot in Japan, I didn't think anything of it. But as it started to build in intensity, I noticed that my Bandai Saturn V that was behind my desk was starting to kind of shake violently, and I decided to save it. So I stood up, got out of my desk chair, went over and was trying to hold on to my Saturn V, and that's when the earthquake started to get really violent. I was not successful in saving the Saturn V. Even the top half of that came off, fell on the floor. The escape rocket got caught between the cabinet and the wall and was crushed. But the noise was getting particularly violent, and I thought my windows were going to smash. And I looked over at the windows, and that's when I noticed that my book cabinet had fallen onto my desk, and I hadn't even heard it go because there was so much other noise happening. But oddly enough, that's the first time I've had an experience like that. Even though I could see that there was a bookshelf where I had been sitting 15 seconds earlier, I was remarkably unemotional about the whole thing. Probably because the whole office was still threatening to come down around my ears. But as you know, that didn't happen, so here we are.
Well, we're glad you're all okay. So what's next for HLJ? What's big in 2012?
Well, we really just need to boost our sales. I usually don't publicize information like this, but since the Lehman shock of 3 years ago, as everybody knows, the yen has really gone up, and that has hurt our sales. We've been pretty much steadily growing until about 3 years ago, but that's not happening anymore. Yet we have a staff, that is presumed that was going to happen. So we really need to boost our sales. And as everybody knows, we have a lot more competition these days. So we have to not only increase our sales, but we have to do it pretty much at the expense of our competition. So we need to, somehow distinguish ourselves from all of the other net shops out there. And we have several ideas for 2012 related to that. We're going to implement, for example, a customer loyalty program, which, despite having fantastically loyal customers for the last 15 years, we've never implemented, shockingly, but we're going to do that. And the other thing I can tell you about is that January of 2012 will mark our 15th anniversary, and we're going to be having a huge sale to commemorate that. So it'll be a great chance for savings early in the new year, too.
Excellent. Scott, thank you very much for
my pleasure.
Take care.